One of the most common questions people have when they commit their lives to Christ is, what's next? What's the next step? What do I do now? And Scripture teaches that the very next step is something we call baptism. And it's a significant step. In fact, as a pastor, there are a lot of people that I talk to that say they feel stuck spiritually. They remember when they prayed and committed their lives to Christ, but from that moment, there was some excitement, but it's kind of faded, and they just sort of feel stuck. And often it's because of the issue of baptism. Because when you read the pages of the New Testament, every person that became a Christ follower was baptized. And baptism in Scripture always takes place after a person commits their life to Christ. And so for a lot of people, there was a religious experience when they were younger. Maybe you were baptized as a child or as an infant. And what I'm talking about does not in any way take the meaning away from that, how meaningful it was to your family, to those around. But honestly, when you're a child, or especially an infant, it's someone else's decision for you. Baptism, biblically, in the New Testament, and this is why we do it this way at C3, happens after a person commits their life to Christ. And that's not someone else's decision, that's your decision. You get to own that. So it is a tremendously significant step in the life of a Christ follower. It's the first thing Jesus asks us to do after we surrender our lives to Him. And so why would He show us the second thing or the third thing or the fourth thing if we haven't done the first thing yet? So not only is it significant, it's a very freeing experience, because baptism is not salvation. Salvation, when we enter a personal relationship with God, that happens when we commit our lives to Him in prayer. Baptism is a picture of what's already happened. It's a picture of the old me is now gone, and the new me with Christ living inside me, that's the resurrected me. That's who I am now. I've been changed by God. Baptism has been called by some people going public with our faith. And so Jesus said, hey, if you'll confess, which means to talk about me, among others, show people that you're mine, I'll confess you before my Father in heaven. But if we won't confess Him, then we have to ask the question, man, am I following Jesus? I became a Christ follower. The first step in following is baptism. So that's why we do baptism at C3. That's why we encourage people. We will always be encouraging you to take your next step in your faith journey, because we know it's significant, we know it's freeing, and we know God is going to bless you saying yes to anything He asks us to do. We want a default position of saying yes to what God asks you to do. And baptism really sets the tone and the pace in that. I know it did in my life, and I know it will in yours. So I want to encourage you to register for baptism. I look forward to seeing you, and I look forward to baptizing you soon. Have a great day.